So today in this video and in this challenge we're going to be making cupcakes. And a thing to remember about decorating cupcakes is that it's kind of like painting. The only thing is that instead of different brushes, you have different tips. And in this video we're going over how to use the tips, how to decorate individual cupcakes, and how to group them together. So after you have your cupcakes all ready to go and they're made and all pretty, we're going to actually have to make sure that they're ready to go. And a lot of the times your cupcakes are going to rise and kind of get this little bump. And if that happens, all you're going to do is just cut off the top and make it more even. So we have a lot of tips here, and there is a variety. You're just going to have to find something you like. And we're going to be going over a couple of these and how to do them. So let's see here. This is our dot one here, and we have these little decorating things that you can buy, or you can get actual icing. I'm going to start with this, and I'll show you how to put it into the bag in a minute. So it's really all going to be about pressure and your angle. Most tips actually have to go either at a 90-degree angle or at a 45-degree angle. Because this is a big old dot tip, we're going to go at a 90-degree angle and squeeze from the top. And then once you have your dot release, you get a dot. There's an uncut flip.
Well, this one seems to have lots of dots.
Yeah.
So what is going to happen with this one?
You're going to want to actually hold it also at a 90-degree angle, and then once you got your icing that comes out, get some to come out and stop.
Ooh,
and then pull up.
That looks like hair.
Yeah.
Pretty nifty.
So if you don't have these kind of little icing already pre-made into the little tubes, what you can do is get piping bags or a Ziploc bag. Works the same way. And I'm going to take one of my tips. So we'll use the star tip. I'm going to just shove that in there. I'm going to try to get it as tight as I can, all the way down, and as far as I can. And once it's there, I'm going to make a little mark with my thumb. That way I know where to cut the bag, because right now it's sealed. Thanks. Just snip that off. And now I can poke my little tip through.
Nice.
And when you do this, you want to use a cup to hold it, because if you're trying to do this, some people can do this, I personally can't. So we're going to put that in a cup so we can kind of help hold it. And if it's a bigger cup, you can fold it down. But I don't have a big enough cup, so we're just going to have to work with what we got. I have some chocolate icing here. Just going to take a spoon. That came out weird. Take a spoon. I'm going to try to get as close to the tip as I can. And you're going to shove it down in there. Spoon does not pop off. Just do a couple spoonfuls here. Okay, all right. And with that, you are going to kind of squeegee it with your fingers all over there, because you want it to be tight. And
Just like it is in the tube.
right.
So no air.
No air, because those air bubbles will actually make a problem. So I got a star tip.
And then you twisted it to push it further.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm holding at the top. I'm going to be squeezing from the top. And with the star tip again, you just do a 90-degree angle, squeeze a little bit, stop, and then pull off.
Ooh, and it turned out like a star.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. So now we have a hair, we have a dot, and we have a star.
So I'm going to go ahead and decorate one of these cupcakes with my chocolate icing.
I think I am too.
All
I'm
right.
going to use the hair. First I'm going to do something else. Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to start from the center here. And depending on how much pressure you do, you can get really little ones or you can get really big ones. I'm just going to work my way out of the center. And what you also can do is, if you have a lot of space showing up before you start actually piping onto your cupcakes, you can take a little bit of icing on there and spread it onto the cupcake. So that way, those spots won't show.
a good trick.
And it's your choice if you want to go all the way out to the edge or if you want to leave a little bit of an edge. Because a lot of the times when you peel that paper off, you get icing on your fingers. And some people don't like that.
I've got mine totally full.
Oh!
So I'm going to take 2 eyeballs that I purchased. These are candy eyeballs. And I'm going to put them on mine. And I made with the hair one an elbow, which is kind of fun. Now, when you're working with cupcakes, you might want to turn around and make yourself some workstation for you to use so that when you're trying to present it or you're trying to serve it, you have a nice, flat, large surface. Probably the easiest cheating way to do it is with a piece of cardboard from a box. You notice I cut the box cardboard so that I have the size I'm going to need, and then I just wrapped it in tin foil. Tin foil is just easy to use, plus, best thing is it's shiny, can look kind of decorative while you're doing it. What you also can do is get yourself a pan to work with. We've got this arranged like this. Is there a reason why we've got this arranged like this?
I'm going to be making a flower.
Aha!
So this is actually going to be the middle part of my flower. I'm going to be making a sunflower. So since I have brown, I'll need yellow. I'm just going to scoop this up there a little bit.
So you're going to take each of those cupcakes and do the same star
Yes.
tip. Now, the other thing that you can do, and I'll do this while she's working on her flower, is you can group cupcakes to make a picture. Not just have them separate and then build a picture with it, but you can actually take cupcakes, put them really close together, and then with that close together cupcake setup, you can make a picture. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking these cupcakes and I'm kind of making them go together so that I can make a rainbow with clouds. Because let's say I'm having a party, I may want to have, kind of something fun. So what I've done first is I've set up my cupcakes nice and tight near each other so that you can kind of see my clouds and my rainbow. Then what I'm going to do is I ice them all together. Okay? So starting here, so like this is my red stripe for my rainbow, and do you notice how I'm not taking a break? I'm just putting them all together. So that's my red stripe. I'm going to go ahead and do a second thickness. And see, I'm building the whole picture. Then I'm going to go ahead and get the orange. So here's the orange. I'm going to go ahead and use this one that she has here. So I have my orange stripe. But you notice how I'm putting it all together. So I'm not even paying attention that I'm crossing over to different cupcakes, so that in the very end it's all going to look like it's one cupcake or one complete item.
Yep.
I'll steal her yellow for a second from her sunflowers. Oop, oops. And the nice thing about frosting is it's very forgiving. And then I'm going to do some green, because remember I'm trying to do this rainbow effect. So put the green on there. And like I said, I'm not stopping. I'm just going on no matter whether or not the edge of the cupcake is there. And that's really important, because if you're trying to make the picture, the last thing that you want to do is do individual cupcakes, because then the person who's looking at it isn't going to see it as a picture. They're going to see it as individual cupcakes, which we don't want to do. So here's my blue stripe right there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is my purple. Then it'll be time for me to start doing my clouds. Now the thing about the clouds is clouds are usually white. So here's my purple stripe. My clouds are usually white. Let me put a little bit more purple on there so you can still see it a little bit better. So now I'm ready for those. Now, you have two options for it. You can go ahead and do a tip, or you can just turn around and, you can turn around and just draw with it. Now, with this one, I am making my clouds, so I'm actually going to fill this in with this white right here, and then I'm going to add to it. So I'm trying to make my clouds kind of have the cloudy look to them. Now while I'm doing this, you notice Miss Fritsch is still working on hers. Now, I've started with my clouds. I've kind of given it the edge. I'm going to put a little bit of blue into them because I want to have them kind of look like a little bit of sky. So I'm going to take that first tip that we used and kind of give myself my look for the sky. So here's my big, so I've got kind of the, I'm working on making this look like it's my clouds. Now Miss Rich, how's your sunflower going?
It's going pretty well. So I did start running out of my icing, which said, okay, I kind of had to improvise a little bit. So, but at the end result, it still looks like a flower.
It looks like a flower.
Now the tip that I used for my petals was a little bigger, so but it gave the same effect. But since I had it at an angle, the 45-degree angle instead of the 90-degree angle, it came out as a different design.
Now right now I am just spreading my white to give myself my cloud look. I'm trying to blend a little of my blue in. And what you're probably going to want to do, I don't want to use too much of your time, is you're going to probably want to use a lot of the frosting or a lot of the icing, whichever one you're using to do it. I'm putting a little more in here so it gives me more of my white.
Looks like you were starting to mix the colors a little bit.
I am. I'm trying to make kind of give a cloud effect. So I'm kind of blending. Remember, frosting is just like painting. So it's very similar. So that's really important. So, once you have all that finished, then you either have your individual cupcake designs, or you could do your group, or you could just have a little bit of fun.
You mean to come back